As you begin this journey, I want you to feel my warm and welcoming embrace. I am with you, ready to walk side by side, offering comfort, wisdom, and answers to the questions you carry in silence. I know that sometimes your heart is restless, and life seems shrouded in uncertainty, especially within your own family. But today I ask that you keep your spirit open, for you are about to discover something profound and valuable. Throughout this message, you will find answers that you may not have even known you were looking for. And in the end, an extraordinary revelation awaits you, something that could be the key to your personal and spiritual transformation. I know that your soul searches for answers and that sometimes family situations seem cloudy and challenging. Today I come to you with a special care, a word that penetrates to the division of soul and spirit, bringing discernment and peace. Listen carefully, for everything I share is driven by love and eternal wisdom. Within the family circle, the waters are not always calm. There are moments when words hurt more than swords, and looks become filled with doubts and suspicions. But, before any judgment or concern for another person, I want you to look inside yourself. Ask yourself, Lord, where do I need healing? Where do I need wisdom and peace? Now, if you believe in my words and want to walk with me until the end of this message, where something wonderful and transformative will be revealed, share this request in the comments. Father, I ask for wisdom to guide my decisions. Follow this journey, and know that I am guiding each step. You are not alone, and what lies ahead could change your life in ways you never imagined. Remember what I said through the Apostle Paul, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with all men. Romans 12:18. Even in the midst of family tensions, the peace that comes from me can reign in your heart. This does not mean ignoring harmful behaviors or putting yourself in situations that threaten your emotional and spiritual safety. It does mean acting with discernment and love, keeping your soul anchored in my presence. Now, about that person who came to mind as you read these words, I want you to look at him from a new perspective. Perhaps it carries pains and wounds that you are unaware of, silent struggles that distort your actions. Do not be quick to condemn or fear, but pray for her. Ask me to illuminate the shadows both in your heart and in this person's heart. Pray with the words of the psalmist, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my concerns." Psalm 139:23. I know forgiveness can feel like a difficult path, especially when you feel betrayed or misunderstood. But the freedom of your heart depends more on your ability to forgive than on someone else's change. Let justice be the work of my hands, for I am fair, and I see beyond what human eyes can see. If there is real danger, emotional or physical, I give you the wisdom to protect yourself and maintain a healthy distance. I am not calling you to be a martyr for situations that break your spirit, but rather to be a guardian of your peace and the truth that I have implanted in you. Trust me, and listen to my gentle whisper when I say to you, "Behold, I am with you always, even to the end of the world." Matthew 28:20. Right now, imagine yourself surrounded by my love, a light that surrounds you and your family. Ask for this light to reveal what needs to be seen, heal what needs to be healed, and drive away what is contrary to my will. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. Don't fear the future. Don't fear disagreements. I'm working on every detail, shaping the hearts of everyone involved, including yours. Now I invite you, take a deep breath and trust me. Allow your concerns about this person or situation to be released to me, for I care for you. Maybe that word will lead you to a specific action, like a phone call, a heart-to-heart, or even some temporary time away to restore your soul. If so, follow this intuition with courage and faith, knowing that I am the God who guides each step. I wish you to remember that love overcomes any barrier. Even in moments of alert and caution, love needs to be the foundation. Love is not accepting abuse, but it is keeping your heart free from grudges that corrode. That is why right now I pray for you that you will find strength in me, and that you will have clarity about how to deal with what is happening in your family. I love you, and I want you to feel this truth. The battle is mine. When you act wisely and place the most difficult issues in my hands, great things begin to happen. Stand firm, knowing that my peace, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and mind in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. Now, son, tell me how your heart is. What has been worrying you? I'm listening always. I want you to know that your every thought and concern is important to me. When you face a family challenge, doubt may whisper that you are alone, but I am here, by your side, with a heart full of love and care for you and each one of yours. Remember, I am the Lord your God, who takes your right hand and says to you, "Do not be afraid, I will help you." Isaiah 41:13. If there is something that needs to be done, whether it is an apology that weighs heavily on your heart or a word of forgiveness that you are reluctant to offer, now is the time to reflect. I, who see the human heart, know how powerful these actions, however small they may seem, are in breaking down barriers and releasing healing. But if the situation requires firmness and limits, I will also be there, supporting your voice and giving you the strength to maintain your integrity and well-being. Knowing how to distinguish between what needs to be confronted and what needs to be given to prayer is a gift, and I am ready to guide you in this discernment. Sometimes in the midst of conflict, the roots of bitterness can try to find space. Therefore, watch your heart, because the sources of life come from it. Proverbs 4:23. Do not allow resentments to grow deep roots that prevent freedom and joy from blossoming within you. If there are times when you feel powerless in the face of a relationship that doesn't improve, know that there is power in crying out for divine intervention. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and hidden things that you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. Trust that the answers will come, and perhaps in unexpected and surprising ways. Right now, I want you to do something with me. Bring to your mind that person who has been causing you concern. Visualize it enveloped in light, a light that reflects my love and grace. Imagine that all the burdens, hurts, and expectations you carry in relation to her dissipate, being handed over to me. This does not mean giving up on love or hope, but rather allowing me, who am the Prince of Peace, to govern every detail. When you trust me, you are inviting the miracle of reconciliation and renewal to happen. Don't forget that there is a set time for everything. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Maybe what you see as a delay is actually a space to grow in patience and compassion. What I build is eternal, and what I am doing in your life and that of your family has a purpose that goes beyond what the eyes can see. Therefore, my son, my daughter, remain in prayer and watch your words. Let them be sources of life and not of discord. Ask that my Holy Spirit leads you to say what edifies and to remain silent where silence is wiser. In the end, it is not just actions that count, but the intention of your heart and the faith you place in me. Now I want you to take a deep breath and feel my peace. May this peace envelop your entire being, relieving every tension and calming any fear. You are not alone on this journey. I am the one who guides, who heals, and who restores. What today seems like an unbearable weight, tomorrow can become a testimony of my faithfulness and my power of transformation. Let's continue this path together. What do you feel deep in your soul? I am here, always willing to listen and act in your favor. Now, my dear son, my beloved daughter, let's take a closer look at how to deal with this specific person in your family. It's natural to feel heavy when dealing with complicated relationships, especially when tensions arise where you least expect them. I know that the pain that comes from within the family circle can be some of the most difficult to bear because it involves deep bonds and shared memories. If there is someone in your life who seems to bring more challenges than comfort, it is important to look to me for the wisdom to discern the root cause of this behavior. Often, what you see on the surface is just a reflection of the internal battles that person faces. Remember what I said. Man looks on the outside, but the Lord looks on the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. Before you react, pray that I reveal to you what is hidden behind this person's actions. Ask me to help you see with eyes of compassion, but also with the clarity needed to protect your peace. When I say be careful, it is not so that you live in a constant state of alert and fear, but rather so that you maintain a wise and attentive posture. There is a difference between loving unconditionally and allowing harmful attitudes to impact your soul and your life. If you notice that this person's presence is affecting your well-being, it's time to consider strategies for establishing healthy boundaries. This could mean an honest conversation or time away so you can both reflect and seek healing. The important thing is not to allow hurt to fuel resentment in your heart. Be angry and do not sin. Let not the sun go down on your anger. Ephesians 4:26. At the same time, maintain an attitude of constant prayer, asking for my light to enter the dark spaces that this relationship has brought to light. When you intercede for someone, even someone who has caused you pain, great miracles can begin to take shape. I want you to understand that true reconciliation comes from forgiveness, but not from forced or simple forgiveness. It is one that is born from a heart that has chosen to trust me to restore or, if necessary, push away. Sometimes the answers you seek about how to deal with this person don't come immediately. They require perseverance and a spirit attentive to my voice. I have already promised, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives liberally to all. James 1:5. So ask and trust that I will give you the words, the gestures, and the calm to deal with this challenge. No matter how difficult it is, remember that you are not facing this alone. My hands are upon you, strengthening you with every step. My wish is that you live in peace and with the awareness that you do not need to carry burdens beyond what is necessary. I am your support, and my grace is sufficient for all your weaknesses. 2 Corinthians 12:9. That person who causes turmoil can be a turning point in your life, challenging you to grow in patience, love, or even firmness. But rest assured that in every challenge I am working, even in the areas that seem impossible to restore. I am shaping you, and in time, I will bring light where there is darkness today. Son, I want you to feel my presence around you, reminding you that I am taking care of every detail. When moments of doubt arise, remember that the perfect solution comes from me, and that as you do your part, I work in the unseen. Stay in prayer, attentive to the signs and direction I give you. Count on me always and never forget that I am closer than the air you breathe. Victory, whether in peace, reconciliation, or new paths, will always come from me. Now talk to me. How is your heart after these words? What do you feel about this situation? My dear son, my beloved daughter, now that we have already traveled a few steps together on this path of understanding and wisdom, let's go deeper into the care you should take with this person in your family. The warning I give is always wrapped in love and aims at your spiritual, emotional, and mental protection. I want you to understand that when you identify signs of harmful behavior or attitudes that disturb your peace, you are not betraying family love by taking care of yourself. On the contrary, you are honoring the gift I gave you, a heart that needs to be guarded and protected. First, I need you to know that discernment is one of the most precious gifts you can receive from me. In the midst of family relationships, there may be influences that distract from my light, and that is why I ask you to keep your spirit vigilant, not with fear, but with a calm trust in me, knowing that I, the God who sees and knows everything, am at your side to reveal truths and bring comfort. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. When you feel something is wrong in a family relationship, it is my voice whispering to you to pay attention. This restlessness may be a call to pray more intensely for that person, asking me to intervene in a special way. Or it could be a reminder to take protective measures, ensuring that the health of your spirit is preserved. There are times when the real battle is not against flesh and blood, but against forces that try to sow confusion and disunity. Ephesians 6:12. In these moments, arm yourself with my word and remember, the Lord is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Psalm 91:2. But how to act in this situation? First, find a space of silence and reflection where you can hear me without interference. Ask me what needs to be done. Maybe it's time to confront this person with love, sharing how their actions impact you, without accusations, but with honesty and empathy. Or maybe the solution is to step away for a while to collect yourself, letting me work on it while I take care of you. Both actions require courage, which is why I say, "Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God." Isaiah 41:10. If by chance this person carries deep hurts and pains that manifest themselves in harmful attitudes, understand that I also see them with compassion. I know it's hard to reconcile the idea of loving someone who seems to bring pain. However, loving does not mean agreeing with destructive attitudes or giving up your peace. Love, in this case, can mean praying from a distance, asking me to work in areas you don't have access to, and trusting that over time, my touch can soften even the most hardened hearts. I want you to know that you are not responsible for changing anyone. This is my work. Your role is to remain firm in your truth, always seek peace, and remain attentive to what is best for you and your loved ones. If you notice that this person's presence consumes your energy, steals your joy, or sows doubts in your mind, take this as a sign to step back a little, making space for my work of restoration. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's a way to honor the gift of life I gave you. I know there are times when guilt tries to creep in, making you question whether you are acting correctly. Therefore, I ask that you bring your feelings to me. Place all your doubts, fears, and thoughts before me in prayer. I am the only one who can truly affirm the right path, and I will tell you, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Finally, have hope. What today seems like a rough sea can become a river of peace under my intervention. I have the power to restore, reconcile, and transform what seems lost. But until that happens, I want your soul to find rest in knowing that you are safe in me. My hand is strong to protect, guide, and if necessary, pull you away from situations that drain your soul. Son, continue to seek truth from me. Pray for wisdom and be open to what I have to say. The care I teach is not just about protection, but about trusting that I, your eternal Father, am always with you working on your behalf. And remember, love, even with caution and wisdom, is always the path that leads to true liberation. I'm listening to you. Share with me your concerns. Trust your battles and feel my peace flood your heart. Now, my beloved son, my beloved daughter, after these reflections, I want you to remain attentive to the signs that your heart perceives. Family relationships can be a land of both growth and trials, and you must be vigilant to discern what each situation requires. If a person in your family awakens a sense of alertness in you, that feeling should not be ignored, but rather brought into the light of my presence. I understand that family ties are complex. Love, expectations, shared history. It all creates a plot that is sometimes difficult to unravel. However, within this complexity also lies the opportunity to exercise wisdom and seek peace. When I talk about being careful, I want you to understand that this means protecting your inner peace and emotional health. There are times when you may feel trapped in a cycle of guilt and obligation, but the freedom I give you is to live in truth and love. Son, if you realize that this person is influencing your life in a negative way, draining your joy and affecting your ability to remain in communion with me, it's time to act. This doesn't mean cutting ties abruptly or acting spitefully. It means making thoughtful decisions to protect your heart. Remember what I taught. Above all else, guard your heart, for your whole life depends on it. Proverbs 4:23. This is not about selfishness, but about wisdom. In some situations, care may mean offering love from a distance. It is important to understand that loving with caution is not the same as rejecting. It is an act of discernment that preserves their well-being while allowing me to work on the deepest areas of that person's heart. There are fights that only I can fight for you. The Lord will fight for you and you will be silent. Exodus 14:14. Surrender your anxieties to me, knowing that I am faithful to deal with what you cannot change alone. Allow yourself to rest in my care as I pray for your wisdom. Ask me to flood your mind with clarity and confidence as I want you to live in peace and freedom. Sometimes the way to restore harmony in your life is temporary distancing, a time when tempers calm down and my intervention can be perceived more clearly. Other times I call you to reconciliation and to my dear son. I know that at this moment your heart may be full of concerns and doubts. especially when dealing with delicate family issues. It's important to remember that in every relationship, there are challenges that test your patience and faith. When I talk about being careful with someone in your family, I want you to understand that it is done with love and protection. It is not about living in constant alert or fear, but about maintaining the inner peace and clarity that comes from me. Family relationships often bring joy, but they can also be a source of tension and conflict. Within this context, the need to establish limits and observe behaviors carefully may arise. If you notice that someone close to you is acting in a way that affects your peace of mind or diverts you from the path I have traced, take it to me in prayer. I, who see hearts and understand hidden intentions, give you the wisdom to deal with these difficult times. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives liberally to all. James 1:5. There are times when love must be accompanied by discernment. Guarding your heart is fundamental as the sources of life come from it. Proverbs 4:23. If a relationship is draining your peace and strength, it is not selfish to protect yourself. It is rather a way of respecting the temple of the Spirit that lives within you. Taking care of yourself is honoring the work I am doing in your life. When someone's behavior becomes a constant burden, it may be time to reflect on how to stay in balance without moving away from love. Loving carefully is an act of wisdom. It doesn't mean rejecting or abandoning, but maintaining a healthy distance while praying for healing and transformation. It is often in the space I create that opportunities arise to work on hearts in a deep and silent way. The Lord will fight for you, and you will be silent. Exodus 14:14. Let this promise be a foundation in your moments of uncertainty, but don't allow fear or guilt to dominate your thoughts. Bring every emotion and worry to me, knowing that I am there to guide your steps. If at any point you feel like you need to take a specific action, like an honest conversation or time away, trust that I'll give you the strength and the right words. Even in challenges, I offer the peace that surpasses all understanding. Philippians 4:7. Sometimes the journey includes waiting and trusting as I work behind the curtains of life. This is not passivity, but an active faith that places hope in me. As you intercede for this person, ask for the veils to be lifted so that you can see and understand clearly. I am the God who illuminates darkness and reveals hidden secrets. Daniel 2:22. If something in your intuition alerts you, listen to that signal and continue in prayer, asking for protection and discernment. I want you to know that acting with care is not a lack of love. It is a love grounded in wisdom and truth. There are times when protecting your peace is necessary so that you can hear my voice and understand what comes next. Surrendering difficulties and anxieties to me is an act of trust. I am the one who guides each step and gives strength in the midst of trials. Remember, even in the most difficult relationships, there is always hope. What today seems like an insurmountable obstacle can, over time, become a testimony of reconciliation or a lesson in growth. I see beyond the present moment and am building something bigger in your life. Even when one person in your family brings challenges, I can transform situations for good as you seek me and trust in my power to change. Son, stand firm and seek my guidance in every detail. The answer will not always be immediate, but rest assured that I am hearing your every prayer and watching your every effort. If there is a need to remain vigilant, I will do so at your side, remembering that you are never alone. I am here, holding you up with my mighty hand, working behind the scenes and bringing peace to your soul. Share with me your concerns, talk about your challenges, and allow my love to envelop you. Son, as you continue on this journey of understanding and care, I want to reaffirm that the security and peace I seek for you are not just distant concepts, but realities that I want you to live fully. Caring for a person in your family who brings difficulties does not need to be an unbearable burden, but rather an opportunity for spiritual maturity and personal growth. I want you to see every situation not just as a challenge, but as a chance to strengthen your faith and learn to trust me in deeper ways. When I speak of discerning and caring, I ask that you use time in my presence to understand the essence of what you are facing. Sometimes the root of someone's behavior can be untreated pain, a hidden fear, or an internal struggle that few can see. Meanwhile, your task is not to exhaust yourself trying to change what is beyond your control, but rather to remain firm and at peace, allowing me, the Lord who can do everything, to act in your hearts. The heart of man can make plans, but the right answer comes from the lips of the Lord. Proverbs 16:1. Prayer is one of the most powerful tools I have placed in your hands. When the situation with this person seems difficult or even impossible, bend your knees and talk to me. Present your doubts, your fears, and your frustration, but also your sincere desire to see transformation and healing. Praying for someone who causes pain can be challenging, but it is an act of faith that transcends human barriers. It is in intercession that you free my hands to act in ways you may not be able to imagine. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and hidden things that you do not know. Jeremiah 33:3. Now listen to what I'm saying. It's important to keep your heart free from bitterness. Forgiveness is a path that opens doors for peace to reign in your life. This does not mean justifying harmful attitudes or tolerating behaviors that hurt, but rather freeing yourself from the weight of hurt. Forgiveness is more about you than the other person. It is a key that unlocks your soul and allows you to live in freedom. And if you still can't forgive completely, bring that fight to me and I will help you walk that path step by step. If you must create space between you and this person, do so with a heart that still desires good and healing. A wise separation can be part of the process of protection and restoration for both you and her. I know this may seem difficult, as it involves shared feelings and stories, but remember, I see the whole picture, and I am guiding your every decision. When your actions are grounded in love and truth, even firm measures can bear fruit of peace. As challenging as it may be, don't lose hope that change is possible. I specialize in turnarounds, in transforming what seems lost, and in healing what seems irreparable. Behold, I make all things new, Revelation 21:5. So while you do your part, keep looking forward to seeing how I'm doing in the invisible areas. Sometimes the work I begin on a person takes time, but it is a complete and profound work. I want you to know that your role in this process is not one of perfection, but of constant search and delivery. Each day, when doubts arise, return to me. Allow me to replenish your strength and renew your hope. I am your safe shelter, and there is no situation or person that escapes my care and my intervention. Now, trust that I am working, even when the results are not yet visible. The care and caution you exercise are part of your growth and the protection I place around you. I am with you yesterday, today, and always, and my promises remain true. You are in my hands, and in them you find rest. Count on me at every moment, and share with me the challenges you face. I am listening, supporting, and guiding with a love that never fails. Son, I want you to remain firm and attentive to the lessons I am revealing about how to deal with this family situation that has weighed so heavily on your heart. The care I teach is not a burden, but an act of protection and love. I know that doubts may arise and emotions may fluctuate between worry and hope, but I am here in every detail to guide and support you. When a family relationship becomes a source of unrest, it is important to look at it honestly and with the help of the insight I offer. Not all difficult behavior has a clear root, and therefore, the wisdom to understand what is beyond appearances is essential. The word I gave in Proverbs says, "Well-laid plans lead to plenty, but he who is in a hurry always ends up in misery." Proverbs 21:5. With this, I want you to understand that decisions in challenging situations must be made with consideration and prayer, so that you do not act on impulse or driven by fear. If this person in your family has been acting in ways that bring pain, manipulation, or ongoing tension, don't feel guilty about recognizing the need to protect yourself. My desire is that you live in peace, and that your heart is a space where my presence can dwell freely, without constant disturbances. This does not mean that you should close yourself off from love or stop trying to help, but it does mean that you should know when it is time to step back and allow me to work. Sometimes it is in silence and temporary distance that I can operate most effectively. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will do everything. Psalm 37:5. Caring for this person must always begin with prayer. Before you act, before you speak, Before anything, come to me and give your concerns. Praying for those who cause you pain or discomfort is one of the deepest forms of love and also a protection against resentment taking over your heart. I know this may seem difficult, especially if the pain is recent or deep. However, each time you pray for that person, you are loosening the invisible chains that may want to form around your spirit. Pray for those who mistreat you and persecute you. Matthew 5:44 is not just advice but a powerful weapon that allows you to see beyond actions and perceive the soul that also needs healing. But I want it to be clear. Forgiving and praying for someone does not mean putting yourself in danger, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. True love, the kind of love that comes from me, knows how to set healthy boundaries. He says yes to forgiveness, but he also knows how to say no to repeating destructive patterns. When I feel that this barrier needs to be established, I give him wisdom and strength to stay firm, without fear or guilt. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and moderation. 2 Timothy 1:7. Use this power to protect your peace and spiritual health. Family life is often a field where the greatest lessons are learned. It may be that, through this situation, you discover new aspects of yourself, areas that need strengthening or parts of your soul that still seek healing. This is not something to be ashamed, but to be brought to light. Each challenge can be an invitation to grow in confidence and intimacy with me. As you face this situation with wisdom, I ask you to look inside and ask, Lord, what do you want me to learn from it? What part of me needs to be transformed to reflect more from you? Remember, I am not saying that it is your responsibility to change this person or carry the pain they carry. This is a burden that only I can support. Your task is to keep open to love carefully and to leave justice and correction in my hands. When you realize that you are carrying a weight that does not belong to you, give it to me. Throw all your anxiety upon him because he is careful you. 1 Peter 5:7. If there is an opportunity for a sincere conversation, allow it to be full of free and true. Speak calmly, listening more than arguing, and ask my Holy Spirit to be present, leading his words and gestures. It may be that the other does not understand immediately or react unexpectedly, but keep trusting that I am working. The power of a conversation full of love and truth goes beyond what the eyes can see. Often I plant a seed that germinates at the right time. If you realize that the best way is to make room and stay away, know that this is not a sign of failure, but a wise choice to preserve your peace and allow me to act. The distance when necessary does not erase love. On the contrary, it may be an opportunity to renew and restore hearts individually. It is a time when I can work both in you and the other person, weaving new perspectives and bringing healing that only time and my presence can offer. Finally, son, keep your eyes fixed on me and my love for you. I know the weight you carry and see the tears that maybe no one else see. I am by your side, giving you the strength to move on and the hope that better days will come. There is no battle that faces alone, and in every step, even when it seems difficult, I am the one who sustains you. Count on me for each choice, for each word, and for every moment of waiting. The care I ask is a way to protect you and guide you safely. So take a deep breath, know that you are wrapped in my love, and allow my peace to govern your mind and your heart. I'm listening to you, always. Share with me your concerns and trust that I am acting, even in the most quiet and discreet situations. Son, I know that every word so far may have lit different feelings in your heart: relief, resistance, hope, or even confusion. All of this is natural when it comes to questions as delicate as dealing with someone who brings concerns in their own family. I want to remember that I am with you in all these emotions, and I am the source where you can find peace, wisdom, and renewal. As you continue to reflect on how to act carefully and discern, keep the confidence that I am shaping this journey so that it is part of your growth and strengthening. I know that sometimes it is difficult to see beyond the present moment, especially when conflict or pain seem to have no solution. But I want to assure you that even when I don't realize, I am wearing invisible details, guiding hearts and preparing the way. Patience is a key element in your walk. The answers you seek may not come quickly, but do not lose the faith that I am operating accurately and lovingly. The wait can be a time of deep learning, where your heart becomes stronger and your lighter mind. It is during this wait that often what seemed unchanging begins to change. But those who expect in the Lord will renew their strengths. They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not get tired. They will walk and will not stick. Isaiah 40:31. Let this promise strengthen you every new day. Also, I want you to practice gratitude even in the challenges. It may seem strange to thank the struggles, but when it recognizes the good, even small, in your life, it makes room for my power to manifest in surprising ways. Gratitude changes the focus of what is difficult for what is possible, and this is a movement that releases the heart to receive more of my peace and direction. In all, thank you, because this is the will of God in Christ Jesus to you. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. At times when you feel overwhelmed, remember that it is not your mission to carry everything alone. Every weight you feel is known to me, and I am ready to relieve you. If you realize that the relationship with this person in your family remains a difficult burden to carry, bring it to me. Ask for strength and wisdom. I am ready to whisper to your heart and guide you toward decisions that will bring more light and lightness to your walk. I want you to imagine a quiet river now. This river represents the peace that I put in your life when you trust me. Even if stones are thrown, causing ripples, the current is always serene again. This is your heart when you choose rest in my presence, even in the face of difficulties. Storms can come, but I am the one that calms the waters and brings the calm. And there was great bonanza. Mark 4:39. If you feel that time to confront this person with love has come, that it is done with the words I give you. Pray first. Ask each sentence to be full of free and true. The confrontation with empathy and truth can open doors for new understandings and sometimes even for reconciliation. But if the reaction is of resistance, stay firm, knowing that it has planted a seed that I can germinate in my time. Now, if the wisest path is the pause and temporary removal, trust that I am in it as well. Protection and distancing can be expressions of love for yourself, love for each other, and respect for the work I am doing in both. This removal does not mean giving up. It means allowing healing to happen without the pressures of constant conviviality. During this time, continue to pray and ask my invisible hands to touch this person and bring her closer to my light. Never forget, your peace is precious to me. I want your soul to be like a tree planted by water streams, which bears fruit at the right time and whose leaves do not wither. Psalm 1:3. Do not allow difficult situations to steal this peace that is a gift from mine for you. Keep your heart firm, knowing that I am the faithful guard of your life and I am working in every detail, both invisible and invisible. Now, son, proceed in your way with confidence. Keep looking for my face, listening to my voice, and walking in wisdom. I know that sometimes the way is narrow and the challenge is great, but I am by your side, carrying you when necessary and strengthening your steps. There is no battle that faces alone, and there is no prayer that comes to me without response. Even in the silences I am working, and my promise is clear. I will never let you, I will never leave you. Hebrews 13:5. Wait with faith. Move with love and know that every choice guided by me will bear fruit of peace and restoration. I'm here, listening to you always, and nothing escapes my care. Count on me, today and forever. Son, in proceeding with this journey of discernment and care, I want you to believe that every step you take with me is part of a safe path. The care that teaching is a balance between love, wisdom, and protection. When you face family challenges, the first reaction may be doubt or fear, but know that I am here, firmly by your side, to illuminate your way. If there were times when pain and disappointment marked coexistence with this person in your family, remember that you do not need to carry these marks on your own. In every experience of pain, there is an invitation of mine to bring your burdens and put them at my feet. Come to me, all who are tired and oppressed, and I will relieve you. Matthew 11:28. Allow me to relieve it by replacing the heavy load with peace and confidence. Part of the care I ask involves clearly to examine what this relationship has brought to your life. If you notice that there is more disturbance than harmony, more sadness than joy, it is a sign that changes are needed. This does not mean cutting ties or giving up, but adjusting your approach to protecting your heart and allowing me, who I am the Father of all wisdom, work deeply. Guide me for the path of justice for the sake of your name. Psalm 23:3. This is a time to move prudence but without losing love. I want you to think about how discernment is a gift. He is the lighthouse that illuminates hidden dangers and opportunities to love intelligently. When dealing with someone who brings challenges, it is important to know when to speak and when to silence, when to approach and when to retreat. This dance between proximity and distance is something that I teach to keep your soul healthy and free from the weight of emotional wear. If this person's actions have significantly shaken their peace, be aware that it is correct to consider temporary removal as a way to preserve their emotional and spiritual health. However, this removal must always be accompanied by prayer and hope. I want you to continue to intercede for that person, even at a distance. Pray that I touch her heart, reveal the deep motives behind her actions, and that she also finds healing paths. Sometimes the deepest transformation occurs when the voice is around silence, and let my spirit whisper in the midst of stillness. Not by force, not by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. Zechariah 4:6. Trust that my power operates where you cannot reach. Loving at a distance may seem contradictory, but it is a powerful act of faith and care. It is the decision to remain true to love while protecting what is sacred in you. This space, when used with wisdom, can be a way to give the other person the opportunity to reflect and change. And even if the change does not come immediately, you will be more strengthened, more anchored in peace that only I can offer. If, on the other hand, feeling that the time has come for an honest conversation, pray before each word. Allow me to be the voice in your lips, bringing truth and grace to the same measure. Remember that even the most difficult conversations can become turning points when led with love and respect. And if this conversation is not well received, do not be discouraged. The seed has been planted, and I am the farmer who cares for germinating at the right time. This will be the word that comes out of my mouth. It will not return to me empty, but it will do what will be pleased and prosper in what I sent it. Isaiah 55:11. I want you to understand that I am not just concerned with resolving a conflict. I am interested in turning hearts starting with yours. When the tension settles, the temptation is to harden, to protect itself to the point of blocking empathy and compassion. But remember, the greatest example of strength and compassion was demonstrated on the cross. There I showed that true love is strong, resilient, but also knows how to recognize when it is time to say, Father, in your hands I give my spirit. Luke 23:46. Similarly, deliver the situations that are out of your control to me. Perhaps there is fear in your heart that this situation never changes or that your relationship with that person remains difficult. I ask you to change this fear for hope. What seems immobile to human eyes is just a piece of the story I'm writing. Remember that I am the God of surprises, the one who can turn a desert into a garden. Behold, I do something new. It is now going out in light. Do you not perceive it? Even in the desert I will make a way and rivers in the wilderness. Isaiah 43:19. There is always something happening, even if you don't see it yet. Finally, keep in constant search for inner peace. Reflect daily on the blessings in your life, how much you have surpassed with my help and the promises I still have for you. Each morning is an opportunity to renew your trust in me and give your concerns again. Do not let the weight of difficulties obscure the beauty of hope that I plant in your heart. I'm working even when everything seems silent. Son, be strong and brave. I am taking care of you and this situation. My hands are over your life, and nothing happens without me seeing and caring. Walk with the certainty that every decision guided by me will bear fruit of peace and restoration. Never stop seeking my voice, and trust that I am listening, responding and guiding your every step. Son, as we move on with this reflection, I wish you feel how much it is surrounded by my love and care. Each step I take by your side is for you to be strengthened and walk safely, even in the most intense storms. I know that family issues can leave deep marks and cause uncertainties, but I am here to remind you that there is no situation that cannot be transformed by my presence and power. Perhaps the heart still wonders, how to deal with this person in my family when conviviality always seems so difficult. It is natural to feel this because human emotions are complex, especially when it comes to those we love. But I want you to know that recognizing the need for care in a relationship is not a sign of weakness but of wisdom. You are learning to distinguish when you act closely and when it is better to maintain some distance to protect your spirit. The care that teaching is not an isolation barrier but a bridge built with discernment. This bridge can mean firm boundaries but also supported by love. One of the great lessons I want to keep is to love healthily sometimes means protecting yourself and protecting the peace I offer you. My desire is for living in peace, that your heart does not go continuously with worries and pain without apparent solution. I understand that in a family relationship that brings challenges, there is a fear that distancing may seem unloving. But on the contrary, space often allows healing to begin. When you create this break, it paves the way for me to work in places that your hands do not reach. This is not an act of withdrawal, but an expression of trust in me. You are saying, Lord, I give this person and this situation in your hands, knowing that you are able to do more than I could ever. I want you to remember that forgiveness is an essential component on this journey, but forgiveness is not an authorization for harmful behavior to continue. It is an act that frees you, that releases the currents of the hurt and allows me to flow in your heart with my peace. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Luke 6:37. However, forgiveness does not mean that they need to expose themselves to situations that run their joy and balance. Forgiving is an internal choice, while the external relationship may need time and limits to restore healthy. Now there is something important that I want you to see. This difficult experience may be shaping you something of incalculable value. It may be awakening deeper compassion, sharper discernment, and patience that reflects my own nature. I know the process is not easy, and at times it may seem to be walking alone. But remember the words I promised. Behold, I am with you every day, until the consummation of the centuries. Matthew 28:20. I am here in every tear, in every silent prayer, in every sigh of tiredness. When the situation seems stagnant, when the heart feels powerless, it is time to host the promise that I work beyond what the eyes can see. My time is different from yours, and what today seems like an impasse can actually be a preparation for something greater than I am doing. It may not be noticeable now, but I'm shaping the hearts, yours and that person, to something that goes beyond the moment. For God nothing is impossible. Luke 1:37. I ask you to keep your mind and heart open to what I'm doing. This means being willing to change your perspective, seeing the other person not only for your mistakes or your difficulty, but as someone who also needs grace and transformation. This does not eliminate the need to be cautious, but changes the way you face the situation, with love based on wisdom, not just emotion. And when doubt arises and thoughts of worry try to occupy your mind, take a deep breath and seek the peace that only I can give. This peace is not the absence of challenges, but the certainty that I am above all of them, guiding you, strengthening and ensuring that in the end everything will be under my control. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give it as the world gives it. Your heart is not turbid, nor is it to frighten. John 14:27. If at some point an opportunity for reconciliation to emerge, be prepared to approach it with humility and compassion. Even if the result is not what you expect, know that I like when you act in love and obedience. Reconciliation is not always an immediate return to normality, but it may be the beginning of a new path, with new dynamics and new understandings. And if this is not possible now, have peace of knowing that you did your part and that I am taking care of the rest. Keep firm, son. There is a purpose in each situation, and at each step I am present. As you make your decisions and act with caution, trust that I am strengthening you, bringing wisdom and renewing your strength. What today is a difficulty can, over time, become a source of strength, a testimony of my power to restore and heal. Do not give up seeking the truth, walking in love and trusting me. Children, remain firm and attentive, knowing that in the midst of the challenges of family life, my love surrounds them and guides them. When they face difficulties with someone close, understand that there is a greater purpose, an opportunity for spiritual growth and character strengthening. I see them in every moment of pain and doubt, and I'm present to offer comfort and direction. Remember that even when situations seem insurmountable, I am acting on the invisible details, shaping hearts and preparing restoration paths. Living with someone who generates restlessness requires wisdom and patience. This discernment is not something that is alone, but it is a gift that I give to those who ask with faith. Always ask for this clarity so that they can act with love and caution. James's words still echo. If any of you are lacking wisdom, ask it to God, who gives all liberally and does not throw him into the face, and will be given to him. James 1:5. That this constant search for understanding is part of your daily journey. My dear children, after hearing this message that I touched their hearts, I ask them to help spread this word of hope and love. Subscribe to this channel, so you help to bring my comfort and light to more hearts you need. Leave a like if they felt my presence and share with someone who needs to hear these words today. Comment below a Bible verse or phrase that speaks to you, if you believe I am acting in your families and lives. There are 2 more messages above that I prepared to bring peace and harmony in their days in a powerful way. Keep listening and receiving my love and guidance, and know that I am always by your side, guiding and strengthening.